Good morning. Welcome to my greenhouse. And I say good morning because it is morning here in Central Florida. I just thought we'd take a few minutes and do another video and see how things are going. Some things are over the top or all gone. Lettuce and things like that down here, it's way too hot for that now. The Dutch buckets are still going good. Some of the things in the towers are doing good, peppers and of course tomatoes. I've got some sage and some rosemary that's still doing real good. Since the last video, I've put on a shade cloth, and it's what they call a 40%. It blocks 40% of the sun, which helps tremendously because the days are generally around 90 here, and the sun, if you get in the sun, you know, it's pretty intense. If you get in the shade where we're at, most of the time there's a cool breeze or a little bit of a breeze, and it's really not so bad. I would have done a video sooner, but we had a big project around here. We had to run some water lines and so on. And while I was at it, I ran water lines to the greenhouse and also power lines out here, so that helps and makes everything a little bit easier. What we'll do is we'll take a look at the Dutch buckets, and like I said, then we'll look at some of the towers. The Kratky box it's not in service at this moment. Everything is way past dead in that, or done for the season. I do have an idea I want to try with the Kratky box. As soon as I get a chance, I need to clean it and restoke it, and then I'm going to try something different with it and see how it works. And if it works, it works, and if it doesn't, then maybe it doesn't. We'll try something else, but we'll cover that maybe the next time. And so anyhow, let's take a look at the tomatoes and the peppers and so on that's left going. And here's the Dutch buckets and a couple of coolers, as we call them Dutch buckets too, because they're working the same way. The first one, we've got lots of carrot tops. I don't know about the bottoms though. We'll see. I had a couple of cucumbers in it and got lots of cucumbers, but they're gone now. And I have got a squash in the back in one of them, and it is going crazy. And green onions still. And then we'll start on the tomatoes. These here are pink brandywine, and as you can see, they're going really good. And that, I guess maybe it started out as two, or it's kind of all one now. It's one of those nuclear tomato things there, okay? And then another pink brandywine. As you can see, here's another one. I need to pick these guys. Then Cherokee purple. We've already had a couple of these. They're good. And I didn't know that they were ripe, and I come out here and one or two of them was actually laying on the ground here. So picked those up, and we've had those couple of plants. And like I said, lots of tomatoes in there. And I had a tomato worm invasion in this place, and I don't have really much of any blooms at the moment to speak of. I do see there's some right there, and that's the first blooms I've seen since the invasion, and I finally got rid of them. So anyhow, there's a couple of Cherokee purple plants there, a beefsteak, and then a couple of Costra Lee. And this one, it was strange because right here where the rest of the plant is, that was a tomato on there, and I picked that last night and took it in and weighed it, and those 2 or 3 tomatoes there, that's all that you see, and that's it on the plant. That one big tomato took up like the top of the plant, and nothing else grew. Here's another Costra Lee, and you can see a couple of just big ones back there. There's another one there that it's coming along, and you can see it's just they're big, huge tomatoes. And as you can see what happened to the vines there. like I said, I had an invasion of them tomato hornworms in here. Big ones, little ones, and all sizes. Then the last couple of plants here are the big beef. And these, I ran across this variety from Bobby, MHP Gardner. And these things are truly big beefsteak type tomato. They're very productive, very healthy plants, and producing very well. So there you have the Dutch buckets. Everything's working fine. There's the tank in the ground. It's like a, I don't know, it's about a 30-gallon tote is what it is. And I've got one of the little floats to do a freshwater supply to it, because these guys are going through between 5 and 10 gallons of water a day. So every other day I have to fill that tank. And that gets a little monotonous. But, oh, the one squash that I've got in the back of this one here, it's like ran everywhere. If you can see it, that's a shade cloth. If you can see it out there, it's run along the ground and outside of the greenhouse and so on. And at this time of the year, you can see the greenhouse walls are rolled up, and the shade cloth, and then of course the top is open, and you can see the shade cloth there. If you look underneath there, I don't know if you can see it, but there is one of the squash underneath there, and this variety is called a Seminole pumpkin, and I guess it's native to Florida. They produce very well, and they're good eating. So anyhow, now we'll start out on the other side now with the towers. Okay, and this is the first tower, and this is the one that had the tomatoes in it. Well, it's still got the tomatoes in it, and yes, I had the hornworms over on this side too, and you can see there's some damage from them there. They just went along and just ate themselves silly. And like I said, I finally got rid of them. There's one ripe tomato on these. The rest of them, there may be one down there, but the rest of them we've been picking and eating them off of this one here, and also freezing some. We don't can anything anymore. The tomatoes, what we do is we pick them and just wipe them off and put them in a Ziploc bag and put them in the freezer. And for soups and stews, they're very good that way. And up here in the top, you can see the jalapenos there going pretty good. And this is kind of like I guess you'd call them the second batch on these. The first batch we've already picked. The second tower, as you can see, these are not jalapenos. These are called Double Delights, and they're a big sweet pepper. There's a bell pepper there, red one. I picked a big orange one off of that plant back there the other day, and there's another green one there. He's not ripe yet. Moving on around, there's another green one there, another little small one there, a couple more there. And so these are producing pretty good. It's probably going to get to the point where they'll pretty much shut down and just kind of stay status quo for the summer, because the pepper plants, when it gets so hot, they don't produce. They just sit. But anyhow, you can see there's some more Double Delight right there, and then some more jalapenos, and you can see pretty good size jalapenos. I'm very happy with those. Should be really good. Now, coming over here to the sweet banana peppers. If you can keep from eating them long enough, they do get ripe. Okay, and you can see there's the normal yellow or green ones, which we've always eaten in that way, and we've gotten enough this year to where there's red and orange and yellow, so they're doing quite well. Over here, the last tower, we've got a small pepper plant. It produces small peppers, supposedly. Okay, these are some seeds I saved from some of them little different colored peppers that a wife bought a bag from the grocery, and I kept the seeds from them and planted them, and they look like they're doing pretty good. rosemary. And in the top of this last tower, I'm going to try and get a picture because she just flew out of there. There's a little bitty wren, and there's the eggs in there. So she's kind of taken up residence out here. I try not to bother her too much. But that's about it right now for the report. And I hope you guys' gardens out there, ladies and gentlemen, are all doing well too. I've had fun with this one, and it's still going good. I need to get out here and do some work and plant some things and try that experiment with the Kratky box, and maybe for long we'll turn out another video and see how things are going. Everybody have a good day, and I hope you're all doing well. See you next time.